A slow pan across a desolate, fog-drenched Roman frontier. The camera pushes through mist until it finds a single figure, an old man, limping, silhouetted against a blood-red sunset. He carries nothing but a rolled piece of papyrus in one trembling hand. Behind him, the fortress gates close with a thunderous boom. He doesn't look back. Imagine this. You are 43 years old, but your body thinks it's 80. Your knees grind like millstones with every step you take. Your spine is a twisted column of fire that never stops burning. Your right shoulder, the one that threw 10,000 javelins, the one that swung a gladius until the hilt wore grooves into your palm, that shoulder hasn't lifted above your chest in 3 years. You've got scars on top of scars, layers of them, a topography of violence written across your skin like a map of every province you bled in. Hispania left a white ridge across your ribs. Germania carved a valley into your left thigh. Britain, cold, wet, miserable Britain, took 2 fingers from your shield hand and left you with a limp that turns to agony when the rain comes. And the rain always comes. You've spent 25 years, a quarter of a century, the entire span of your adult life, marching through mud, bleeding in foreign lands, sleeping on frozen ground with 60 pounds of gear as your only pillow, eating food that would make a stray dog hesitate, drinking water that tasted like copper and death. You watched your friends die. Not the clean, heroic deaths they carve on monuments, not the noble sacrifices the poets sing about in marble halls, where men who've never held a sword decide who lives and who dies. No, you watched them die screaming. You watched Gaius, the boy from Campania who joined up the same week you did, the one who used to talk about his mother's bread every single night until you wanted to strangle him, the one who became your brother, closer than blood. You watched Gaius take a Germanic spear through the throat at the Battle of the Lupia River. You held his head while he drowned in his own blood. He was 22. His eyes didn't close. They just stopped seeing. You watched Marcus, old Marcus, the centurion who could march 50 miles without breaking stride, who had a laugh like a thunderclap and hands like iron vices. You watched Marcus step on a caltrop during a night march in Pannonia. The infection took his foot, then his leg, then his life. It took 19 days. He screamed for the first 12. You watched Lucius, quiet Lucius, the one who carved little wooden horses for the children in the Vicus, who never raised his voice, who prayed to Mithras every dawn and every dusk. You watched Lucius take a sling stone to the temple during a skirmish that wasn't even important enough to name. He didn't scream. He just folded, like a garment being put away. One moment, a man. The next moment, a shape on the ground. You carried his wooden horses in your pack for 6 months before you finally buried them at a crossroads and walked away. That was 11 years ago. You still dream about it. You dream about all of them. Every night in that space between waking and sleeping, the dead come back. They stand at the foot of your bedroll. They don't speak. They don't accuse. They just watch. And somehow that's worse, because in their silence you hear the question that has no answer. Why did you survive and not us? 25 years. That's 9,100. Rome was not expanded by senators. Rome was not defended by generals who stayed behind the lines and wrote memoirs about battles they watched from hilltops. Rome was built, brick by bloody brick, mile by bleeding mile, province by conquered province, by the legionary, the common soldier, the grunt, the nobody. The 18-year-old farm boy from Latium who walked into a recruitment camp because his father's land couldn't feed the family anymore. the freedman's son from Ostia, who signed up because the legions were the only path to respectability for a man with no name, the Gallic auxiliary, who strapped on Roman armor and fought for an empire that had conquered his people because citizenship